Hello class, this is Professor Tweed here, continuing some 3D modeling basics, and we are using Sketchup, which is a software that I like to use for modeling and really for design, but we're actually learning how to model from specific 2D documentation in this series of lectures. And what I've already done is I've taken CAD and I've brought it into Sketchup and I've rotated my elevations about my first floor plan so we get a primary 3D look. And what we're going to really do is we're going to develop this 3D model in steps. So the first step, I'm going to do exterior walls and the exterior surface, which will probably take a couple videos. I'm purposely not going to do interior. And I want to say what I'm going to do now is usually not what students find the intuitive way to do it, but it definitely is a time-saving way of modeling. And not only does it apply in SketchUp, but the basic concepts, the basic steps that I'm going to apply in this series of videos really apply to many 3D modeling software. So really the lessons are important. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to build the exterior walls, and I'm going to basically trace the building, as you'll see in a minute, and I'm going to, of course, it's SketchUp, so I'm just going to extrude it straight up through the building. That's all I'm going to do in this video. What I might even do is I might even, just to make it slightly easier for myself so I can see a little bit, I'm just going to go to Move. I'm going to go to copy this floor plan, which is Move plus hitting the Control on keyboard, so I can get a second copy of this first floor plan. I'm going to need a second copy anyway. What it's going to do is going to allow me to trace out the walls at this step pretty clearly while still having my scaffolding over there, which I will use soon. So I'm going to pick any corner, it doesn't really matter. I'm just going to trace around all the exterior of my building. So this will take a minute, but not too long. And be careful with this house. A lot of these lines that you're seeing are hidden lines, and SketchUp doesn't really have hidden lines, so they look like solid lines. So make sure you understand the building and make sure you understand what is an exterior wall. Of course, when I get around to the beginning, it all fills in like SketchUp will do. And if I don't want to extrude this because it'll just extrude it up as a block. And what I want is the walls. So I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to trace around, but the interior side of the walls. And most of this is going to be pretty easy and straightforward, here, here, and here. But when you get to something like these stairs coming up, I don't want the interior walls. I'm going to do interior walls later. So I'm just going to come straight across and knock off that wall. And when you get to something like this, you're going to have to sort of, oops, I didn't even quite catch it. I'm going to have to sort of use the SketchUp Align tools to make sure I'm getting an alignment there. And I'm just going to come straight across. Notice, and this is the key, notice I am not worried about doors or windows. That's what a lot of young modelers like to, or new modelers, like to sort of build around the windows and things, and you don't do that. That'll take a lot more time to do. So just don't worry about the windows. We were going to do windows later. We're going to build solid walls, right? So there we go. So I came around, and of course SketchUp ended, so I can't draw a line. That's how I know it came a complete shape, although it doesn't really show here. What I'm just going to do is I'm going to select the interior side, so we see the interior selected. When I hit the delete key, all we have is those exterior walls. And I've drawn on layer 0. I should have mentioned that. I do all my drawing on layer 0. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to double click on it just to select all of those that surface and all the lines associated with it. I'm going to right click because I like to work in groups and just make it a group now. And I will go ahead and move this over into my scaffolding. Trying to get this corner. You can see this is the reason why I moved it over is because at this point for this first step the scaffolding is sort of busy. It'll be really important here, even in the second step I'm about to do. But there we go, I've modeled it, put it right into place. Now I can double click to activate that group, and I'm just going to push pull it from that tool right there, and I'm going to push pull this all the way up. I'm going to make it taller than the tallest piece of my building. Okay, because what I'm going to do is in a follow-up video is come and do the roof, and we'll have to use intersect with model to to the roof line. And that's pretty much what you have to do for many roofs. So just, it has to be bigger. That's all it has to be. And there's your exterior walls. And when I double click outside to exit out of the group, now you can really see the scaffolding again because it's projecting the CAD lines just sort of onto the surface. And so again, it even more looks like a 3D model of this building, but it's not there yet. And this is important. Again, I'm going to end the video here before I get to the roof, which will be the next video. But notice that the walls are solid walls. There's no windows. It's all straight up. That is key. And I've separated out exterior walls from interior walls, which also will be very helpful. And I'll show you those tricks in a few videos from now. All right, so I'll see you next video.